So, I got a little bit bored, and I've decided that I'm going to be ranking all of the Radiohead albums. Yep, definitely all the Radiohead albums. Definitely no other albums in here whatsoever. Some asshole made this. I'm gonna find a better one for a second. Okay, I found a better one. Now, I guess we should start with Pablo Honey. This is an album that I just don't really care about. There's no point in listening to it. I've listened to it like once. It's just whatever. None of the songs are good enough to even keep me mildly interested for the duration of the album, so I've only listened to it in small chunks, and it's just kind of like whatever. Uh, and that is the only bad ranking for for all their albums. So next, I guess we have the Benz. The Benz is just I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like the Benz is like a really good album, and I mean like almost as good as OK Computer. OK Computer is like great in its own ways, but the Benz is just a very depressing album, but um, like actually probably as depressing as OK Computer. I don't know. I don't even know how to really explain it. It'd be better if I like wrote a script and was more like talking about each individual album as a separate video, but I just don't feel like doing that, so instead I'm gonna do a shitty ranking video. The Benz, I'm gonna have to give this like an A tier. Or no, God, I'm really split between A and S, honestly. Like, here, one second. Add roll above. A plus. There we go. Now we have A plus tier. That's where this is going, alright? Because, like, it just doesn't fall into A or S tier, but is still amazing. OK Computer. Honestly, this is just a classic. I'm going to put it right next to the Benz in A plus tier. It is very good, and there's nothing more I can really say about it. Alright. Kid A. Uh, very interesting experience. Uh, God, how do I even explain it? I'm gonna set it in like B tier for now, but just while I explain it, so I'm not constantly dragging it up and down. Uh, I mean, there's a lot of really good songs on here, but I feel like a lot of them end up blending together in the long run, and I don't enjoy them as much as certain songs on the album. I'd have to say that Idiotech, whatever the last song on the album was, I completely forget what the last song on the album was. I've listened to this album like 37 or no, probably around 40 times at this point, and goddamn, I don't even. I forgot what the last song was called. That's sad. Kid A is also like a pretty decent song on here. Everything else kind of blends together in its own ways, but I feel like those tracks really do stand out and make the album like really good, even when everything else is only like B tier. So I'm gonna actually have to give this also A plus. Amnesiac is like Kid A had sex with Pablo Honey. Um, it finds ways to be both bland and boring and also very interesting and unique. I'm gonna have to actually give this B tier. I forget this album exists literally 24/7, then I'll randomly discover it again. I'll be like, oh yeah, that album was pretty decent. And yeah. So now we have an album that is interesting. It's an interesting experience, okay? And god damn it, I keep forgetting what the names of these albums are. It's quite sad. Whatever, we'll call it Political Album until the name hits me, okay? And I'm sorry to all the Radiohead fans that are watching this and just very upset at the fact that I can't remember an album name. Feel free to attack me in the comments below. But I don't know. I don't know how to feel on this one. Like, well, no, I do know how to feel. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm fucking tired, alright? It's 1 a.m. But, I mean, there are a couple of tracks on here that I feel like just should have been removed. Oh god. Of course, only while I'm trying to film a video while I yawn. But there's a couple songs I feel like could be removed. But for the most part, I feel like the track list is very solid, and each song adds something new and interesting. And "A Wolf at the Door," which is, the last song on the album, is a very good closer. Um, so honestly, like, might have to put this in S tier. I think I'm gonna put that. Yeah, no, that's definitely S tier. That's S tier. Um, in Rainbows, I don't think I have to justify my reasoning here. D tier. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not putting it in D tier. It's going up to S tier, obviously. Okay. The King of Limbs is an album I'm very split on, like extremely split on. On one hand, I like the very interesting, repetitive sounds that go on during a lot of the songs, and then I really like the I don't know, the songs that feel more not really classic Radiohead, but like very experimental, but also just actually have a structure to them. Um, but it's just so muddy, and I get that's the point. But it sounds literally like horseshit. All right, everything sounds like horseshit, but sometimes it works out really good, like with Codex, for example. Okay, or oh god, what was it? Give Up the Ghost. Most of the time, all the sounds kind of jumble together and they end up sounding terrible. But with Lotus Flower, Codex, and Give Up the Ghost, they sound very good. Um, so like on its own, I would have to give this like D tier. All right, which does kind of suck, but I just feel like the album is too muddy and too like just terrible sounding for me to enjoy. However, they did have a you know, from the basement, a live version, and that version was easily like an S tier. Okay, so just know from the basement version, S tier. This one, sadly, D tier, and I hate saying that, but like they made up for it with the from the basement version, so it's okay. A Moon Shaped Pool is it's a very solid album. I just feel like it kind of falls out. Not it doesn't it falls short from being like good, like really good. It's still good. It's just not like it doesn't go that extra step. It is a very depressing album, especially the last song on there, which I completely forget the name of, but like, True Love Waits. It's True Love Waits. That song is just extremely good. Um, Actually, my main complaint is with the track list. That's the main thing I hate about it. Like, there's nothing to really hate. It's just not like the most interesting sounding album of all time. But the track list is the thing I hate the most. Burn the Witch shouldn't have been on this album at all. Okay? For me, the album starts with Daydreaming and ends with True Love Waits. Okay? That's just my opinion, though. That's just my take. I'm gonna have to give this A tier, though. Does not belong in A plus tier and does not belong in S tier. Um, so yeah, that is my Radiohead album ranking. Feel free to attack me in the comments below, and I will see you later.